famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. We are chatting with Rachelle Coba today here on the telephone. And Rachelle, tell me and Jay a little bit about yourself.
Oh my God. Well, where do you want me to start?
Well, your website for one
Website, social media. How do we get a hold of you, Rachelle?
Okay, well, it's rachellecoba.com.
Yes.
And I'll spell it for you because most people can't. RACHELLECOBA. That's my name. I think I'm the only Rachelle Coba in the world.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, weird, right? My parents did good.
So,
So,
how
yeah,
did
Facebook and all those other usual suspects, too.
fantastic? Well, how did you get started in the music business?
Aha. Well, in the business or just with music? Two different
Both.
things.
Both. We're here. We're all ears,
Yeah.
my friend. We're all ears.
Well, as you know, I lived in Wichita, and I grew up partially there. By the time we moved to Wichita, Kansas, I was about 9 years old, 9, 10, and I started playing music in the public school system when they still had that going on. And I played violin and found music that way. And I got a guitar when I was 15. On my 15th birthday, I got an acoustic guitar, and Stevie Ray Vaughan and Lonnie Mack played the cotillion. And my mom took me on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't ever think I would play the blues or anything, but it's weird how that kind of happened that way.
Oh,
Maybe
That's
it
awesome.
was a little foreshadowing. Yeah. So,
absolutely, because I don't think everybody listens to some of the same stuff they listened to when they were younger. I think they just kind of adapt.
yeah, well, I mean, my parents they listened to R&B and rock and roll. You know, I had a young set of parents, and so I grew up hearing all that stuff and some blues. And I don't know if you guys remember the Wichita River Festival.
Oh,
Used
yes.
to have
Yes.
blues on Sunday, and they had people like Albert King there. You know, there was all kinds of stuff we're exposed to that I didn't really realize. And I kind of do remember Albert King. I remember being floored, and I wouldn't miss it for anything. And I thought that was the only place I could hear it. It's like, okay, once a year, I'm going to go, whether my mom goes or not. I'm walking over there, and I'm going to go watch the movie. So, yeah,
I
I was kind
remember
of,
when Riverfest had opera.
really?
Yeah,
Huh, I don't remember that. I don't remember that part.
that was in the last 10 years.
Wow.
Interesting.
It is Rachelle Coba. She's with us today here in our broadcast. She joins us live, coast to coast and border to border on iHeartRadio and also AMFM, 247.com, tune in, iTunes, and of course, Radio Loyalty. And you can also get more information on the Mix on Tuesdays. We are live on there if you miss us on the Sunday radio broadcast. So, RachelleCoba.com is the official website. Check out RachelleCoba.com.
Yeah.
So Rachelle, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing as a musician during this year with no gigs and some of the different things going on.
Woo! Well, let's start off. I was in Milan, Italy, 2 days before they shut it down. And I
Really?
had no idea that it was getting that intense. I don't know the exact date, but they shut it down at the end of February, and it was on a Sunday. And that Friday, I had played in Milan. And in the hotel, I put on the TV, and I hadn't watched TV in a couple weeks. You know, I can't understand it. I'm out of the country. And I put it on, and I started to almost have a panic attack. And I didn't understand what they were saying. It was just a vibe coming through the TV. I was like, oh, my God. You know, turn it off. Turn it off. So we played in Milan on Friday, somewhere else on Saturday, which I'm really glad. This great little place. I'll look up the name in a second. But I had my most fun night there in Italy. And then the next day we pulled into this little town still in the North region. And I was telling the guys, like, this looks like a ghost town. You guys know what I mean by a ghost town? Because everything was shut. And psychologically, you know, the buildings in that area of the world have shutters on them. And everyone had even shut the shutters.
Yeah.
And it's just like a psychological thing, like, don't let it in, you know. And we had no idea. until a few hours later what was going on. So yeah, that's how my adventure started. And I was really looking forward to recording another record in France, and I had to make the decision to come home. And it was terribly tough, but I thought it's better to be safe than sorry at this point, and I didn't want to end up in some European internment health camp or some crap. I don't know. It's like I gotta go home.
I know several people that got stuck overseas.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I luckily I had 2 return tickets. I had one that a festival I had played over there had bought, and I hadn't canceled it yet. Thank God.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
So I was able to grab that flight home. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have been able to get a flight. So, yeah, it's been a real interesting thing. I've played online, like on Facebook. Technologically, as we figured out with Skype, not the greatest. So I'd love to figure out how to go live on YouTube and stuff like that, and I'll get there. But that's pretty much what a lot of us are doing. And people are putting money in a virtual tip jar. That's kind of how it's going. But it's also, just I started doing that because I realized that everyone was suffering, and music has always been a healer to me, and I'm very aware of what it does. So it's important to keep the music playing no matter what. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
And
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
I was just going to say music is one of those things where you can get together with like camaraderie and agree to respectfully disagree about other areas of life, but you come together with music and art.
That's always been the unifier, and we've had this. This is the craziest thing, and you guys are in this industry where everything's so spread out. It used to be, 3 TV channels, 5 radio stations, or whatever. Now we have so much coming at us, but there's really no central place. There's not record labels, the big giant record labels, and that's it, which it can be a good thing and a bad thing. But music and art was always the unifier of our societies, and no one knows where to find it.
Yes.
There's so much.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we get the message across? I mean, I'm pretty sure most artists right now are collectively in a collective consciousness about, people calming down and being peaceful and trying to endure this solitude that we've all been kind of forced into. So,
well, maybe
I don't know. I just want everybody to create.
Maybe that's where our civilization went wrong, was when we started warring on music and saying that you couldn't listen to whatever you wanted to. Maybe that's where we went wrong. We stopped accepting people just to listen to whatever music they wanted to.
You think so? I'm not even aware of that. I'm not in my own bubble. So, well, I know we have the censorship and the whole, who was it, Tipper Gore?
Oh, yeah.
That, you can't say that. Like, oh, really?
You can't sing that.
Right. I'm kind of careful about what I sing, though. It's just personal. It's weird. I don't know. Come on, I'm a little on the edge, but like, there's certain things I love to sing about that maybe people would freak out on. But I'm aware of just, I don't want to say anything that's going to mess anybody up,
Yeah.
But maybe
maybe you need to start just loving yourself and accepting yourself and see whatever you want.
With all the crazy stuff in it too.
Yes.
Uh,
Of course. Well, I don't know, man. I just want people to feel good. That's my deal. I like to make people feel good.
Well,
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Rachelle, you have a track out there called Maybe. Tell me and Jay a little bit about Maybe.
Yes.
Oh, Maybe. That's interesting you picked that, because that's one of the oldest songs I've written that came out on a newer recording. I wrote that probably in like 97.
Wow.
And you know what? such a really bad story. The line, it's like, the first line is, maybe it's just a phase. I seem to be stuck in the state of mind. It's about, like you're getting obsessed with somebody. You can't get them out of your head. We've all been there, I think,
Bite me.
Or it doesn't work out, and you're kind of trying to figure out what went wrong or whatever. But the second line, are you laughing?
Because I've been there. I can relate.
Of course, it's girl shit. Like we like, it's awful. We get trained for that. But anyway, that second line was something that happened. I had this teacher in junior high school, and I had a bad reputation. So we started the year, and they put me in the back corner with no seats, empty seats all around me. I was that kid.
Oh my God. You?
Oh my God. Yes.
Innocent you?
Back. Well, I was really smart, and I was bad. I had to entertain myself. So I was in the back with empty seats, and the teacher came back there, and she was really mean. And she got stuck in the desk. She was grading papers next to me. And she kind of talked like this. I'm not going to say her name. Anybody that went to school with me will know who I'm talking about. But she looked at me, and she goes, I seem to be stuck. And I was like, oh, my God, don't laugh. Don't laugh. So that's where that came from. Like, that's my, inside joke on that song. Now you guys know. Nobody's known that before. But I would say that all the time, like, oh, I seem to be stuck, with just whatever, because of that teacher. I know. That's what she gets for exiling me in the back of the classroom. Was it a precursor to COVID? I had to learn how to be by myself back then.
I guess. I wrote a poem about being a ghost because the teacher wouldn't answer my question to help me do homework.
Oh, no. That's not cool. Well, you know what? I wouldn't want to be a teacher. I really wouldn't. And I know I've done it. I have done it, and I like teaching music lessons, but being in a classroom...
No, that's not your cup of tea.
No, the karmic debt there is way too high.
Well,
I couldn't even get mad. I'd be like, yeah, kid, I get it.
Well, Rachelle, we are up against the clock because I've got a guest who is just throwing a fit about getting on. So I've got to let you go, but we are going to play your song. But I appreciate you being with us today, Rachelle.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really, really appreciate it.
Definitely.
I want to do it again.
Definitely. We definitely want to have you on when we have a little bit more time, but I've got this guest who is just burning up the Skype line here. So I appreciate it, Rachelle, but thanks for being on, my friend.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thank you. There she goes, Rachelle Coba, and we are going to play the song. And it's Maybe, and then when we come back, we have got our next guest waiting in line.
Stuck in the state of mind.
That is Rachelle Coba, and it is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. We thank you.